This is Paul Kelly here for Eat, Sleep, Box and Repeat. I'm joined by Leigh Wood. How are you? You keeping well?
All good, mate. All good, thank you.
Firstly, I'll get into it. How are you feeling now, just with the fight? Really only less than 2 weeks away.
Good, feeling good. I'm on track. My fitness is where it needs to be. My weight's where it needs to be. It's going really fast. It's going really fast, and it feels like final night's going to be in a few days. So, yeah, I'm excited, but at the same time, I'm extremely focused as well.
So, training's going well. Then you've been enjoying training.
It's never enjoyable. It's always hard. It's always hard, but I'm where I need to be. I'm feeling good. I'm fit. I'm very, very strong. The things we're working on with the game plan and everything else is clicking into place. So yeah, like I said, it's never enjoyable. It's never fun. I love fighting, but this is the side that that comes hand in hand with fighting. There's things you need to do. So like I said, it's not always fun, but it's where I need to be to enjoy a victory on 31st of July.
So I want to ask, how long have you known about this fight being a possibility? Because, well, speaking on behalf of a few boxing fans anyway, I think this fight kind of got announced kind of from nowhere, if you know what I mean, in terms of,
Yeah,
that's what I thought as a boxing fan.
I think I was asking for this fight a while ago. I think the manager planted a few seeds quite some time ago when they was looking for an opponent. And then for this fight date coming up, I think we've had 6 weeks notice. So luckily I was in the gym beforehand, ticking over. And when we got the call, he was like, talk to Ben, like, am I going to be ready in time? Like, what do you think? We looked at his style and assessed where I'm at. And, it took me all of about 3 minutes to say, let's do this. And Ben straight away, we can win this fight.
So you're up against Kanju, and he's obviously the WBA champion at the minute. So what do you know about him really, and what he brings to the table?
He's a good fighter, especially if you let him get into his rhythm of fighting, what he does good, which is a volume puncher. I don't want to say too much, I don't want to give too much away, but if you let him do what he's good at, then you're in for an hard night. So straight away I'll be trying to take away his best attribute and getting off things that I'm good at.
So the fight's only 11 days away now, and it's the first of Eddie Hearn's fight camp shows. So are you excited at the prospect of fighting in kind of a unique venue like this?
Yeah, it's going to be massive. Obviously, it's Matchroom's first show without Sky on DAZN, so I'm sure they're going to make it a spectacle. One that's going to be a good watch for the fans. And what a card it's on as well. Some great fights on there. So yeah, I'm excited, and it's going to be a memorable night for me. This is the day before my birthday, so hopefully a world title on my birthday is going to be some birthday present.
So you've had 2 fights since Kanju last fought. Your latest being the win over Reece Mould for the British title, just at the start of the year there in February. Do you feel like this could be a big factor come fight night, his inactivity?
Yeah, there's going to be loads of contributing factors that he's up against. I think being in England for a start, being in Eddie's back garden, inactivity. I don't think he's boxed anyone like me. But on the other hand, I've not really boxed anyone like him. But, all these things are in my favour. Activity, being in hard fights as well. So I think, yeah, it's going to be a factor. It's probably not going to be key because I think regardless of activity, him at his best, I think I still beat him without sounding big-headed. But I do believe the clash of styles is right for me as well.
Do you feel a pressure at all taking fights like this and other big fights, especially with COVID kind of stealing time away from yourself and nearly every other boxer's career?
I don't feel pressure. Do you know what I feel like? I waited a long time to win the British title, and I did it in an empty room. So that was quite disappointing. But at the same time, it's there. It's in the history books. I've done it. I would have liked there to be a big crowd, especially the ones that had supported me from the start, But this is bigger. This is bigger than the British title. There's no pressure. It's not like I'm thinking, wow, this is, and it's now or never. I don't think like that. I think, right, forget about what it's for. Forget the money. Forget the belt. Forget the status. All I'm focusing on is my opponent and what I need to do to win. And that's what I did in my last fight, and that's what I do in most of my fights. I don't really think about what it's for. It's not until the announcer after the fight then brings it over. It's like, oh, I forgot it was for that. Do you know what I mean? Because I just totally focus on my opponent, and that's what you need to do, because it's like anything in life. Like, if someone says, oh, you got to do this, then if someone says, you got to do this, but if you don't, then this is going to happen, you automatically add in a different dynamic to it. Do you know what I mean? No matter what it's for. So take the pressure off yourself, go out and do your best, stick to the plan, work hard, and I'm sure you achieve what you need to achieve.
Prior to this fight being announced, Kanzu had been heavily linked with Josh Warrington and stuff, and other champions. Before Warrington obviously dropped the IBF title and then went on to lose to Lara. But do you think like a win here propels you into even bigger fights? I know you don't want to overlook your opponent, and you won't be, but do you know what I'm saying? Like, does this get you
absolutely
onto the next level?
This pushed me straight into the mix with the other world champions. Obviously, Galahad, Dickens straight after me, which I'll be watching. All being well, pick up this world title, and some massive fights out there for me. And I've always said, up until last year, money don't really motivate. I know a lot of boxers might say money don't really motivate me, because I know I can do anything in life, or most things in life. I know I can make money. I'm not an idiot. I can do many things to make money. Anyone can make money, but not anyone can go win belts and make history. And for me, it's like 3 things last year that I wanted to achieve was win the British title. That box has been ticked. I did an interview. It's still on my Instagram. You can scroll down and read it. Win the British title. Box 4 and hopefully win a world title. And be the first person to headline at the Forest Ground, at the City Ground. So now I'm in touching distance of these last 2. And I do believe that they're going to happen. And, a unification fight, maybe it could be. But I'm not taking my eyes off the 31st of July 1st. I'm going to go out there and get a job done. I'm going to look good as well. So, yeah.
You mentioned Galahad Dickens there. That leads me nicely on to my next question. Jazzy Dickens, obviously a former opponent of yours, and they're fighting for the vacant IBF title. Firstly, who do you think wins that fight? And secondly, provided you win yours, would you want one of them next?
Possibly. We'll see what happens. I think I'm not 100% sure, but looking at it, I'm going to say Galahad stoppage late. But I won't be surprised either way. I'm not going to say that's a definite. I'm not going to bet on it, but I would stay towards a Galahad stoppage later on. But Dickens has got a lot of experience. He might prove me wrong. And yeah, I'm not looking at like past this fight, but that is a potential fight, definitely. Before this fight, I think we was like trying to line myself up with, Dave Calder was trying to line myself up with the Navarrete fight and chasing WBO and get a ranking with them. I don't think many people want to fight him, but for me, stylistically, I think he's someone that could make a great fight with myself. He's there to be here. His feet are quite bad, but he is long and powerful myself. So Galahad Dickens isn't my only option, but it is a big option, especially over here.
Yeah, that's right. I was going to say that next. So the likes of obviously Dickens, Galahad, they're fighting. Warrington's still a big fight. Navarrete, Gary Russell when he fights as well. Santa Cruz, they're obviously all the champions in featherweight. So do these fights, do you have your eyes on these for now, ideally down the line?
Absolutely, all them names. But they can soon dissolve into the bliss if I don't win this fight on the 31st. So I'm just totally focused on this fight, and then after this fight, we can kind of smile and look around and think, right, what's the biggest fight we can get? What's a challenging fight, and what's going to be one for the fans as well?
So, what does a win against Kanju do for your career?
I think it's massive. It's massive because I think, to be honest, I think Carl Froch is the only person from Nottingham to win a world title. I may be wrong, a prestigious one. So, propels me towards that kind of mark, leaves my mark amongst the names of all the champions that have been before. And Nottingham, like I said before, there's been like Kirkland Lang, the Booth brothers, Al Bomber Graham, Carl Froch, Pritchett, Wallace Jr. There's been so many champions, British champions and that, but only one person's ever won a world title, and that's Carl Froch. So, to put my name amongst him, it's going to be massive. And that's why I'm doing everything I can in my power to get this money over the line. And I'm 100% confident in doing it.
So we're just 11 days away now from fight night. So what does that final 11 days look like for you? When do you go into the bubble? Training wise, do you tone it down now? Well, how does it look for these last 2 weeks, really?
Yes, I've got a few big sessions left this week. I've got a lot of more drilling to do. It's different for me because normally it's like a switch off after that final week's normally a switch off, but now it's more like the big stuff's done, but there's still a lot of work to do. There's a lot of practicing to do. There's a lot of drilling, repetitive stuff. So a lot of repetitive stuff just to make sure I get it right on fight night, and that's down to Ben to that's how Ben does things, and it worked last fight. And at first last fight, I was like, God, I just want to chill. But this is how he does things, and this is why he got so much success. I want to take a walk over here. Sorry.
All right. Can I ask, your last 5 wins then have all been by stoppage? So do you think you can knock out Kanju?
Absolutely. I mean, my last 5 wins have all been by knockout. I think my last 7 opponents have all touched down. So yeah, it's not a coincidence. I've been stopping him. I carry a lot of power, but at the same time, it's not like I come out and throw hell for leather. I'm not coming out to rely on my power. I can box, and I'm smart, and I'm patient. Probably one of my most underrated attributes is my boxing ability and my fitness as well. You're going to need to be super fit to throw power shots constantly. So yeah, I mean, is the stoppage likely? It's extremely likely. He's a volume puncher, and whilst people like volume punchers throw a lot of punches, the hands aren't next to the face because they're out trying to hit me on this. So volume punches against big punches is normally a great clash of styles.
Going back to your opponent, Kanju, I know it hasn't happened and it might never happen, but do you think he would have beaten Josh Warrington? How do you think that fight would have gone if it had have happened?
Been a great clash of styles, but I think stylistically to beat Warrington, you need to be able to have a bit of a dig. Because it's very show-like. Styles makes fights. I might be wrong, but I think that would be been a good fight for Josh because of his style. Whereas someone like me and Josh, I don't think he would have had an easy night with me. But like it's like his previous fight with Laura, he can dig, and kind of when he gets clipped, he kind of loses his shape and he tries to throw back and leaves himself open to get caught again. But against volume punchers, he can tuck up really well. He shows up really well. So yeah, I maybe he'd get the win against Kanzu, but I don't think he would against myself. And I don't think in the rematch he's going to do too good either.
Obviously, without giving your game plan away, because why would you do that? But what is there specific things you've been working on ahead of this fight?
I'm working on a lot of things. I've said don't want to say anything, don't want to say too much, but to win a fight, you have to look at what someone's good at, and then you have to look at ways to take it away. Then you have to look at what you're good at, and you have to look at ways to execute that as much and often and as best as possible. That's all you're getting from me.
I know. Don't worry, I wasn't expecting you to give too much away, but I thought I'd ask anyway. Why not? Yes, so finally, really, what can we expect from Leigh Wood come fight night?
Like I said, it's a great clash of styles. And you can expect what you've expected from me in all my last 7 victories. Powerful shots, accuracy, and it's going to be exciting. It's always exciting. So tune in, watch me get the win across the line.
Well, thanks very much for your time, Leigh. I really appreciate that.
No, thanks for having me, mate.
No problem. All the best, and yes, good luck on fight night.
Cheers, mate. Thank you.
Thanks very much.